the e-Phoenix Legend. Let's have a look. Hey guys, Vick here, back with another review. Today we are looking at this. This is the e-Phoenix Legend RDTA/RDA/squonking RDTA/RDA. So what this is a brand new atomizer from e-Phoenix, the brilliant guys behind the Hurricane, the Resurrection, etc., Firebird, etc., etc. Big fan of e-Phoenix for a long time now. This is their latest atomizer. This is the Legend. It is a 22mm RDTA, which comes with the ability to switch back to an RDA. Comes with a squonk pin and a normal pin as well. So a squonky RDTA or a squonky RDA is its primary function, primary purpose. 22mm wide, 2mm capacity when in RDTA mode. Quite easy to switch out. Might be quite some fun to switch these two on camera. We'll see how we get on, but I'll show you them in both configurations. It's kind of, as a dripper, it's kind of the next step on from the Resurrection V2. The Resurrection V2, for those who don't know, I think I did review it on the channel. A really tasty, low-profile squonking RDA, but it's aged a little bit now, the Resurrection. The one thing that I had against the Resurrection V2 is a 3-post design, and 3-post designs these days quite tricky to build compared to all the easy RDAs. They've completely fixed that up. It has a brand new spring-loaded clamp system. Pretty revolutionary stuff from e-Phoenix as always. Very interesting deck indeed. Makes it very easy to mount your coil, which was the one setback on the Resurrection V2 in my opinion. So a big improvement on that. Also, it has this whole RDTA thing as well, which I'm a little bit on the fence about. I'll talk about when we come back up top. Yeah, adjustable airflow, low profile, flavoursome single coil, 22mm RDA. Let's go down so you can have a proper look at this. Then we'll come back up top. It'll all make more sense, pros and cons, etc. See you in a sec. Alright guys, here we are down low with the e-Phoenix Legend RDTA. This is the packaging, classic e-Phoenix packaging, very nice indeed. Don't worry, I've taken the RDTA out of the packaging. I'm just going to show you a few bits here first. So if you want to use a 510 drip tip, it has a 510 cap. If you want to use it on a more restricted airflow, it has a more restricted cap. This is when you turn it into an RDA. You've got your Allen keys, spare grub screws and O-rings. This is for when you turn it into an RDA, and this is for when you turn it into an RDA as well. So let's put those to one side. Okay, so this is it as an RDA. This is the e-Phoenix Legend RDTA, squonky RDTA. e-Phoenix on the side here, adjustable airflow. Obviously you can adjust it like that, dual-sided. Goon tip on top, but don't forget it does come with the 510 tip as well. Ultim little juice well as well there. Adjustable airflow, goon tip. It's going to be obviously hard to see on camera, but it's kind of like a blasted black finish. Very slick indeed. Let's just get this top cap off. You can see what we're packing inside here. Okay, so what we've got going on is a big chunky coil, but beyond that, what we have got here is a single coil S-shaped design. My last device from e-Phoenix was the Resurrection V2, and the only drawback of the Resurrection V2 was the posts. You know how tricky it was to build. This is resolved with this one. You've got these really cool clamp posts. If I get a flathead screwdriver, I'll show you exactly what's going on here. So you unpeel these with the old screwdriver like that, and they open up here like this. You see that? And they're just a very, very effective style of clamping. Okay, so that is how that works. If obviously wicking it up, you're sticking a cotton through here, putting it straight down those holes, dabbing it down, so you've got a bit in here. Happy days. Now, this is where stuff gets complicated. We're going to turn this into an RDA, so let's do that. First job, dismantling it. So we need to unscrew the smaller screw. Put that away. Get an Allen key. Unscrew that. Take the bottom off. Take the tank section away. Replace the tank section with this little yellow piece. Okay, so you put the base on here on this piece. When you put the base on, obviously line it up so you've got your screw hole over this third little hole here. There we go. So get that over there. That makes it a lot easier to find that screw hole if you do that straight away. Put that on there like that. Squonk pin in. And you have yourself an RDA instead of an RDTA. And you will notice I have not changed the coil on here. So you can do all that without changing your build, which is pretty cool. So let's wick this up and have another look at it. Okay, so got it wicked up all nice and now. Let's give it a squonk and you can see what's cracking off here. That squonk action. Lovely and juiced up and ready to go. If we put the cap on, there we go, put the cap on and you can see this again now. You've got your adjustable airflow there, e-phoenix down there, squonk pin installed, goon tip on top, straight to the coil. Happy days. And that is the legend in RDA mode. Let's go back up top and talk about this. The one thing to take away from this, if I don't say it again, don't forget, beautiful 510 drip tip available on here as well. Comes as standard in the pack. Loads of extras with this RDA, RDTA. Restricted airflow as well. 510 tip as well. Goon tip, cloudy cap. Really cool on spares, this legend, e-phoenix. Absolutely smashing it out of the park with their extras now on here. Let's go up top. Okay guys, so that was the legend down low. Very much two sides to this atomizer from e-phoenix. On one hand is this squonky RDTA that I showed you down low, and that is its default configuration. That is how it comes when you get it. It's basically a little single coil flavor banger RDTA, but it has that 2mm reservoir and a squonk pin, so you can hit that squonk bottle and refill that 2mm chamber. Now it doesn't quite work as simple as that, because what you've got to do is you've got to get your wicking on the RDTA spot on so that it's constantly feeding. But even when you squonk it, because the squonk wants to go back down a bit as well, it doesn't completely fill it every time, but it does give you that squonk is refillable, and it gives you that extra capacity on your squonker. So you've got a 6mm squonk bottle and a 2mm chamber. Happy days. Now, I'm not a massive fan of squonking RDTAs. There has been a few in the past, and I've never quite got on with them. You're hoping and praying on your wicking quite a lot with these, and you find yourself just so tempted to hit that squonk bottle all the time. Kind of defeats the purpose if you're constantly hitting that squonk bottle. So squonky RDTAs, I'm not a huge fan of. I know some people are. If you are, definitely give this a peek. I also don't think it's the perfect RDTA in the world ever either. 2mm capacity, if you're not using it on a squonker, 2mm capacity is going to go quite quick. Even at a modest 30 watts, you know, you're still going to get through 2mm of juice at 30 watts in pretty good speed. And refilling it isn't super straightforward either. It doesn't have any fill port as such. What you have to do is peel up a bit of cotton and squirt some juice down the hole that's left by where the wicking should be. So it's not a super out and about on the move refilling situation with this RDTA. So yeah, for me it still vapes tremendously as an RDTA, but I don't think it's by any means a perfect RDTA, and I personally am not a huge fan of RDTAs on squonkers. So I'm not mad in love with the RDTA, but for me personally, I just see the RDTA feature as a bonus feature to this atomizer, because what it really is, what's really going on here, in my opinion, is an absolutely perfected RDA. Such a big improvement in my eyes on the Resurrection V2, simply because it's so much easier to build now. The old 3-post design on the Resurrection V2, you know, there was a time when we were all about that 3-post life with a tugboat and things like that, but in reality, if you want to center your coils on a 3-post, you've got to start shoving or bending leads, and it's not too much fun. Also on the Resurrection V2 had quite a big catch cup, quite a big juice well, so you had to kind of build over that juice well. And the Resurrection V2, the flavour was tremendous, the vape was tremendous, but I always found it a bit of a faff to build. That is all gone on this. That is all gone. This is now single coil. It's got these really, really smart spring-loaded clamp posts. You're literally just sticking an S-shaped coil in here, tying them down. It's a 2-second job rebuilding this now, and you still get that fantastic e-phoenix flavour. So I'm really enjoying this RDA. Really, really enjoying it. As always in my opinion, it's very, very well put together. I love the finish on the cap. It's sort of that blasted, media blasted sort of black effect. It's got that sort of slightly chalky feel to it. It's not like a traditional stainless steel black top cap. Really well put together. I love the tensioning on all the O-rings. I love the adjustable airflow as well. Very, very easy to adjust, and a lot of adjustment available with this Cyclops design on both sides. You can really push this down if you want. The one thing I do need to say about the adjustable airflow is, unlike the drop dead and things like that, the airflow doesn't remain centered when you adjust it. So something to bear in mind, but it does close down and continue to vape very, very well indeed. Flavor is tremendous on this. If you like your single coil squonking RDAs, you've got to give this a look, because the flavour is so good. The build quality on this stripper is so good. I also think it looks a lot better than it has in the past. I really like that solid colour. Tiny bit of Ultim splashed in there as well. Obviously you can use your own drip tips on this too. You've got your little top cap here, but ultimately it's a goon tip anyway, so you can do what you like with that. I like that they went with flathead screws on here as well. Flavour's tremendous, and now it's super easy to build. Squonks so well also. When you squonk this thing, it literally just floods the whole thing, juices up all your wicks in one press, let it go back down, and you're squonking again. There's no squonking and waiting or squonking and worrying that it's all going to get saturated. This thing just saturates up really, really nice. So I absolutely love the way it squonks, love the flavour and the way it vapes. Plenty of room for cotton as well. That is a slight drawback on a lot of these 22mm single coil RDAs. There's not that much room for cotton. Yeah, you want a condensed deck, but you still got to get that cotton in, and this does that. That solves this problem. Nice and short, great flavour, vapes very well. I really, really, really like this in the RDA mode. Really like this in the RDA mode. It just just fixed the Resurrection V2 in my opinion, is what they did with this as an RDA. A little bit fiddly to switch the two up. You know, that's always tends to be the case with these things where they're more than one thing. But I think it's well worth getting down to it on the table and switching this up from RDTA to RDA mode when you get it, because I absolutely love this as an RDA. Great flavour, really enjoying it. That's just a very modest sort of 35 watts, something like that. And honestly, the flavour is absolutely popping. And you can play with your airflow all you like. Nice and smooth, doesn't feel turbulent at all. Oh, tasty, tasty, tasty vape. What can I say? I really like this RDA. Not a massive Squonky RDTA guy, so maybe that sort of coloured my opinion a bit. I don't know, changed my opinion a little bit on that. But ultimately, you know, I don't think it's a perfect RDTA. No fill port, 2 mil capacity. I know TPD and all that, but 2 mil capacity, far from ideal with RDTAs, and no super easy way to fill it on the move. So not blown away by it as an RDTA, but absolutely loving this thing as an RDA. Do check it out if you get a chance. I think it's pretty and vapes brilliantly, super easy to build. What more can you want? I've been Vaping Vic. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget, Mark Todd's done a brilliant review of this atomizer as well. Definitely worth checking out. He doesn't make as big a meal of the switchover as I did, so definitely worth checking out his review if you haven't seen it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you on the next review. Cheers.